So Tom here with Boston Town manager Martyn Bunce. Martyn, your season finished about just over a month ago, nearly now. Finished 7th in the league. On paper, probably not as good as the season before, but then again, you still had the FA Vars run, second county trophy final in a row. If you had a couple more games, you probably got the playoffs. I mean, how do you think the season's gone overall?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a bit of a roller coaster, really. Disappointed. I think at the start of the season we was looking. Obviously that the playoffs got announced, so it was something we was really interested in, and we wanted to push on to, but got off to a slow start, really, and probably before Christmas never picked the pace back up. But had a nice run in the Vars. Got to another cup final and. Just finishing just outside us. Yeah, like I said, a roller coaster season really, but overall disappointed.
Do you think the FA Vars run you had in the first half of the season covered over the cracks of the league form, as most people probably didn't notice the league form probably till after you got knocked out, because everyone was so interested and bothered about the Vars at the time?
Yeah, maybe we did as a group. We knew that we was very inconsistent at the time. I look back and I don't think there was a run of like 5 games or 6 games where it was like, we had 1 in 5, or I think we went a run of 3. But then we played in the Vars and played well actually in the Vars, and there's some games I think that we probably didn't. I think the Worcester game was a prime example of that. I thought we played really well, but never got the result. So no, we was definitely aware that the league situation needed addressing. And we wasn't nowhere near where we wanted to be. But it was a nice distraction at the time, probably.
Around New Year, the club had some disappointing results between Christmas and New Year, probably the lowest against Ena at home in January. Did you ever think that the squad would be able to come back from that point to where they eventually finished, with Boston sitting around 15th at the time? And was anything said to the players to encourage them? Because as you say, it wasn't where you really wanted to be.
No, to be honest, I think for me it was more Newark and Sherwood, just before Christmas, that was. Yeah. I think that was our lowest, personally. As a group, I think we felt it. I never doubted the players. I've said this to them. If I did doubt them, I'd have made changes by now. And I think the group's been together for 2 seasons, and you could probably count on one hand the amount of changes we've made. I 100% trust the group we've got. I did say that in Newark. I must admit, at the time, I think it was myself. I doubted if I was the right one for it, really, right man to take them forward, because it just had seemed a little bit around that time that the group weren't responding to anything we were saying or asking. And to be fair, we went in after the Newark game and yeah, we said, look, I've probably taken this group as far as it can go, and they needed probably somebody with some fresh ideas. But at no stage did I ever doubt the group of players what we've got down here, and I hopefully I'll never have to. But in the 2 seasons I've been here now, the core of the group's been fantastic.
I mean, when you first came in, a lot of people didn't expect Boston to have the run or the season they did in your first season in charge. I think they finished 7th, I think, or 6th or 7th, I think it was, and of course the county trophy win. Do you think you maybe overachieved a bit too much in the first half and your expectations were too high in the second season?
Excuse me, I don't think we overachieved, because like I just said, I do believe in the group we've got. I've got a lot of belief in them. Maybe it come a bit too quick, and I think it surprised. I think it surprised the players more than it did me. I think they still lack that little bit of belief in the first year. But I think at the start of this season, our expectations, we didn't probably manage them as well as we should. I think our expectations with the group was quite high, and I think we was looking at promotion, or we spoke about the playoffs really early in the season. Instead of what we've done, it's the cliche, but what we've done in the past, we've took 1 game at a time. And we've always said, this is how we do it, and we'll just literally go game by game. But like you just said, I think because we finished so well in our first year, I think we've arrived into the second season and thought, yeah, there's playoffs up for grabs, and we got a little bit ahead of ourselves, definitely.
Then, of course, from around February onwards, the club went on some run, and they are still currently unbeaten away from home, even before the results to Hina in January. I think it's Skegness. It dates back to that away from home. I mean, the last 5 league games were also won. I mean, I know a lot can't be done about it now, but with the form you were on, would you have fancied yourself in the playoffs if you had made it?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think I think at every level, there's always one that gets a bit of momentum and probably sneaking, and a lot of the times, I think it's a large percentage that they're the ones that actually go on and get promoted. So obviously we would have been confident, but we was a long way off in the end, really.
Yeah. This season, something what sticks out is the record against the local side, apart from Lincoln, of course. But you had a triple against Skegness and Pinchbeck, a double against Sleaford. You was unbeaten against Deep, and then also wins against Bourne and Blackstones in cup games. I mean, how well have you players mounted to the pressure and bragging rights in these derby games?
To be fair, it's strange that you've put that to us, and when you think of it, I didn't even think about it. I'll be totally honest. I don't think the players do. Obviously, there's always more of an edge to a derby game, whoever it is. But it's not something that we go into too much detail about. If I'm being totally honest with you, it is another game to get us to where we need to be. Like I say, I'd be lying if we say it's not nice if you can beat the locals and in your derby games. There's certain teams locally that I've never beaten as a manager. So to do that this year was personally good for me, but it's not something that the group get too excited about.
In 3 out of the 4 cup competitions, excluding the League Cup, the lads have taken 3 very good sides, 3 very good teams all the way. Of course, Sanstey from the league above in the FA Cup, 2 sets of 90, extra time and penalties, and then Worcester in the Vars, 90th minute, and Lincoln in the County Trophy and penalties again. Then Worcester got promoted from the respective league. Anstey almost did it, and Lincoln almost did as well. Is killing the game off or being more clinical in these sorts of matches a goal for you next season?
Definitely, yeah. We did say that. We're really lucky. We've got goals from lots of different areas. We've just struggled for that one leading scorer, really. I think if we'd have got one of our forwards probably on 15, either of them, or 3 of them in the end, because obviously Dakes came in and hit the ground running as well. We could just do with one of the centre forwards probably grabbing 15 to 20, and we're in a totally different, and who knows, the position we're in, and the cups that we get through. But we did use that. It's funny you bring it up. We did use them points that you've just said. We've took some good sides, right to the wire, and probably been unlucky on a few occasions with them. So it shows that we're close to where we want to be, and we can push good top teams, all the way. It's, like we say, now it's the difficult bit, and just having that little bit of that finishing touch, really.
Moving on to the players, of course, one has retired and left the club. Lee Beeson, a legend of the team from the last 5 seasons or so, the first captain to win something in around 14 years. He was great under you, and also Gary Edgley, the manager before. I mean, how much will he be missed, and whoever takes on the captain role, what big shoes will they have to fill?
Oh, big shoes, definitely. Bee's has been brilliant ever since I come in. He's been a great captain for me, both on and off the pitch. To be fair, I think he's on the pitch, he's got better. Last year I thought was his best season out of the 2 for myself. I can't speak on what he was like before, but no, he's a great guy, great player. You hear certain things about Beast and you think, I don't know, are we going to get on okay? And I couldn't fault anything. I can ring him up. We never had that sort of relationship where we was on the phone every week and we had to discuss certain things all the time. But anytime I needed him, I picked the phone up and Beast was straight on to whatever I wanted him to relay to the group or to do or to help. And I wish him and the family all the best in his retirement, mate. You know, he's top lad.
We've had a few more club legends hit landmark appearances as well. Fordy, Jordan Nuttall, Trav and Tasey being the main four, I think. But it would be rude not to mention the other lads as well. I mean, how well have they dug deep and performed as a team again this season?
Really, you know, like, it's strange, really. I think the run that we had, we were scratching ahead. You know, we was all thinking, you know, we couldn't quite put a finger on it. We sat down as a group, we spoke about it. Like I say, we've got some lads that's been at the club for a long time. They was involved in the chat, and you know, we decided on to change the formation, and we decided on changing a little bit of how we our style of play, if you like. And mid-season, the boys just really took to it and got behind it, rallied, and to be fair, it does link into when we went on the run, you know. So they take on any challenge we throw to them. They're an honest group. They're so committed. You know, I don't think the clubhouse and I don't think the club's been so lively for quite a few years now. That's down to the boys who they stay here with their wives. You know, they're all round on and off the pitch. They're just a great bunch of lads, and they're good players at this level. They really are, and I just hope they get more success. You know, they deserve it.
This season has seen youngsters like Will Langford and Pat Pad break into the first team. Will we be seeing more of those next season, and will more be breaking through and make the same sort of amount of appearances as they have for the club?
Definitely, we hope so. Something that we're working on, to be honest, we've literally had a meeting tonight. We're looking at getting more of the 23 games put in. We're doing a lot of work. Well, Luke is doing a lot of work behind the scenes to get the youth set up now, really working and really pushing local players. The 14s are under 14s first year have just gone and won the league in the A-League, in the mid-leagues, you know. So these are the sort of boys we're really interested in now, and we want to push them through. Pat has come from our under 18s this year, you know, and he's showed great attitude. Will, you know, he's been brilliant with us on and off the pitch for such a young lad. I think Will's now 17. I can't speak highly enough of him, and that's credit. You know, we'll thank Boston United because he's over with the youth team at Boston with Ray, and Ray. I spoke to Ray early in the year, and he said, I think whoever takes Will young and early enough will really reap the rewards. And I'm so pleased we have, and I hope, you know, all the young boys stay and come back to us this year. So no, it is something that is so key to this club, producing our homegrown talents and getting youngsters through. Really, really important.
Because it never really used to be a thing, Boston, or since I've been around the club for about 5-6 years, there's never really like an academy team. There used to be reserves who might break through, but there was some of them were around the same age of the players anyway. I mean, how important is it to have the academy sides? Yeah,
definitely. You know, I think it's important for for them to have a clear pathway and to come through to our first team. And you know, here that is it is a realistic pathway. You know, other clubs it's a big step for an 18-year-old boy or some youth team players to go through it, but you know, it can happen here. And like I say, I think gone are the days where we can bring cars from Grimsby, Lincoln, Peterborough, you know, because there's some good non-league clubs at step 4 and 5 in them areas now, and they can play on the doorstep. So we've like I say again, we have to produce, and hopefully we can continue to work closely with Boston and the surrounding academies from that level as well, and use some of their guys. You know, I think it's good for the players as well, for young players. They need to be playing this level and getting minutes at. It's good playing their own age group, especially at the 18s and 19s level. But I do think they get a better challenge when they come and they play at a men's level of football as well.
So last summer, even in the first summer, majority of the squad stayed at the club, or the senior squad did. Of course, Leah's gone, but is it expected the others will stay put again, or are you looking to bring in a few more in this time?
You never know. You never know until you sit down with them. Listen, I'm fully aware that we've got good players that I would have thought. When you look at it now, it's Harrowby. Congratulations to Jamie at Harrowby. They've come up. Same with the Bourne lads. They've come up. So that's 2 more teams in the county or in around us that are after the same sort of quality of player we're after, and possibly after some of ours. So you never know. I would like to think we've created a nice enough environment, and we have been commented on a few occasions this year of how close knit the group is. Something that I would never, like, especially at the moment, I wouldn't look to. I wouldn't be looking at releasing not one of the lads. I hope they all stay, but like I say, that's discussions to be had. Recruitment, yeah, we're going to have to, because obviously we've lost Beast, and I always think freshening up with the right people is always good. I think it's always good to bring 1 or 2 in, but it won't be. Hopefully, touch wood, it won't be no more than 2 or 3.
Yeah,
that will be it.
Next season, the UCL North could be as tough as ever. I mean, at one point it was looking like Grantham, but they remarkably turned it around in the league above. Lincoln shot most people and have stayed put. Gresley could come back down, and the unofficial league projections, which do change every week, had Yaxley and a couple others from the South Division in the North. Bourne and Harrowby are almost guaranteed to be in the league. I mean, will the aims be playoffs again for you?
Definitely, yeah, 100%. Like everybody else is, I think, who goes into it. I agree with the opening line there, though. I think it'll be the hardest it's been for a long time. Some great clubs in that. Congratulations to Louis at Grantham. He's done a great job. Because I'll be honest, I think quite a lot of us was looking and going, that's a big club to come into the UCL. So to turn it around as he did, done fantastic. But there's, like I say, there's some good clubs in there and some good players, good coaches. So yeah, I think every point will be vital this year. But yeah, like I say, I think the playoffs that have come in have made the league a lot interesting, and I think they've been a great addition to it. It really is. And obviously we've been watching what Boston's been doing down the road at United, and congratulations to them. I mean, it's wonderful for the town and that, but it does make you all look and think, wow, it'd be nice to have a little bit of that down here at some point. So yeah, it'd be great, but we're fully aware how difficult that's going to be.
I mean, as you say, the playoffs have made this league so competitive this year. I mean, I remember we were just like last season. If you finish come Christmas, if you're knocked out the FA Cup and Bards, your season's pretty much over if you're not in that top 3 or 4. I mean, now anyone from really 10th, if you can still keep up with it, can still get into those
definitely
4 places.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it is. I think it's the best thing they've done. Yeah, I do. And we were just discussing off camera, earlier on. I think it proves how many good teams there is at this level. When you look at Anstey and Harbour now, and Quorn that went up last year and the year previous, they've gone up to step 4 and done so well. I mean, especially Anstey in their first year. I mean, that's fantastic. So it does prove that clubs at this level are geared up and are good enough to go to that next level and do more than hold their own.
One competition you haven't had much look in is the FA Cup, of course. Your 2 draws have put you against teams who have got promoted from either a North or South league from the season before. Of course, Harbour in your first and Anstey in your second. I mean, will that be a competition where you want to have a good run in next season, or will it be the same with all the competitions you're into?
I think it'd be a competition we'd like to have a first round draw. That's quite kind to us, really. I mean, the 2 draws I've had is like, it's a massive thing for any club at this level, and financially and to get a little bit of buzz around the place. So yeah, we always want to do well in it. Every cup we go into, we want to succeed in. The County Cup's been great to us for 2 years. Even though we slipped up this year, we got beaten this year. They're great nights. It's great nights. I think the County FA's done really well with that cup. They've done a lot of work with it. I think they promote it really well. the Vars was exciting for us, and it's, it just goes to show that, again, how strong the UCL is with Lincoln United going all the way to the semis and being unfortunate with that. So they're doable. You just need a little bit of luck in all of them, and a couple of nice draws early on possibly, and momentum soon can step in. So, but the FA Cup, it would be great. I mean, it's an early start. Obviously, we start early in August. I just love a nice home draw. Against somebody that's not as tough as teams that just get promoted and big teams in the next league above us. But yeah.
Of course, it's also the club's 60th anniversary this year. I mean, we have just mentioned it, but can you follow in your old team's Boston United's footsteps and get promoted? As I believe Town have been at this level a lot longer than what United were in the Conference North for. And would we get an open top bus if we won?
I think we'd probably have a
bank holiday.
Well, yeah, I don't think we'd have a bus. I think we'd have a van with a flatbed on the back or something. I don't know. Yes, but no, listen, it's been brilliant for Boston and everybody at Boston United. Obviously, I've got some great friends and some great people over there that's worked so hard for a long time to get where I feel that back where they belong. And everybody at the club, I know Eddie and the chairman's already wished them all the best, but we all wish them all the best and congratulate them, and I hope they enjoy every minute of it. And if we could replicate that this year, it would be. It'd be amazing. I don't think we'd have the party that they're probably having this evening, but I think we'd probably be. I think some of our lads would probably be out a lot longer than they could, but we'll see. We'll see.
Finally, to end this interview, is there anything else you'd like to add on?
No, just a massive thanks to everybody. Obviously, there's too many to name. One thing that the club has done really well is, we get a lot of plaudits for the first team, and then the players get a lot of. A lot of the praise and that, but so much work now that goes on, and so many volunteers here that do some great work, and without them, we're talking about successful seasons and winning things, and we couldn't do anything like that if it wasn't for the likes of yourselves and Simons and Andy Adams and Colin, John, Jappy. There's just so many. We've just got a great team of people off the pitch now. Which are just as good as the players we've got on them. So, no, I would like to thank everybody, and hopefully we can have whatever a successful season looks like next year. Hopefully we can keep pushing, like I say, driving that youth section, driving the facilities and trying to improve everywhere we can at a sustainable rate and a budget that we've got to work to. And continue enjoying it down here. So, but no, the main thing is a big thanks to everybody.
That's excellent, Martyn.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.